morning, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode here at Wildman Lifts. I'm your host, Wildman. On today's episode, I'm going to fulfill my promise that I did on my last video, where I structured 5x5 for people who want to build muscle mass in conjunction with bodybuilding. Today, I'm going to go over 5x5 for somebody who wants to lose weight, look thinner, but wants to look athletic and wants to gain strength at the same time. 5x5 will absolutely work to get you stronger. That's what this program is designed to do, is to increase your strength. Now, whether you want to do it in conjunction with a specific goal, all depends how you structure 5x5 into your programming. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to structure that for you. So just as a reminder of what 5x5 is, 5x5 is a strength program. It stands for 5 sets, 5 reps. And it has 5 weeks where you're going to do this 5 sets and 5 reps. And then you're going to test on week 6 to see if you've gained any progress. We're going to be testing our 1 rep max. And we're going to be doing that on the back squat, the bench press, the deadlift, and the seated shoulder press. So before we begin 5x5, we're going to test our 1 rep max on each of these 4 compound movements. And then depending whatever we get, we're going to take 70% of that 1 rep max, and we're going to start with week 1, and that's going to be the beginning point. Then every week, you're going to add 5 pounds until you get to week 6. And then you will test your 1 rep max. And then after you're done testing, you should have lifted more weight than you did 6 weeks before starting the program. You'll take that new 1 rep max and you'll plug that into your calculator. And then you're going to start 5x5 all over again. It's very, very simple. And even somebody who isn't very good at math, like myself, can figure it out. Now, if you're a male or a female and you feel like the bar is where you're comfortable at for reps, that's no problem. Go ahead and start there. When I first started to weight train for the very first time, I actually used just the bar for all 4 movements. And I did 5x5 with those movements, and I just added 5 pounds every single week. Now, I understand that when we go to the gym, we might be a little embarrassed that we're only using the bar, and then we're only adding 5 pounds every week. So you're adding 2.5 pounds on each side. So you have to start somewhere, and it takes time and patience. You can't rush these things. You have to give your body time to heal and to adapt to the workload that you're introducing to it. And fortunately for you gym goers now, bumper plates are a very popular thing in commercial gyms. This is what a 10-pound plate would look like in my day, where I would put this onto my 45-pound bar at the very end of my 5x5 and was back squatting this and benching this and deadlifting this. And this was kind of embarrassing, not gonna lie. Most gyms have bumper plates. This is the same exact weight as that 10-pound plate that I just showed you. So now you can actually put these on the bar, and it actually looks like you're lifting a decent amount of weight, even though it's only 10 pounds. So feel free to use these if you feel kind of embarrassed. And like I said, most commercial gyms have that in stock. Now, here's some numbers that I pulled just to kind of give an example of how to start 5x5. So I have totals in pounds right here. I took the squat, the bench, the deadlift, and the seated press. And I did 185, 135, 225, and 100, all in pounds. So you see where it says day 1, and then the next one says day 2, and then day 3, and day 4. You could replace that with day 1 is Monday, day 2 is Tuesday, day 3 is Thursday, day 4 is Friday, right? Then below the day where you see day 1 back squat, where it says W1, and underneath that it says 130. That's how much weight you're going to start with when you back squat. So you're going to do your typical warm-ups, and once you get to 130 pounds, you're going to do that for 5 sets, 5 repetitions. Day 2, W1, you'll do 110 pounds on the bench press, and you'll do that for 5 sets, 5 repetitions. And then day 3, the deadlift, where it says W1, which is week 1, underneath it says 155. You'll do 5 sets, 5 repetitions of the deadlift with 155 pounds. And then day 4, you'll do week 1, 70 pounds, and you'll do 70 pounds for 5 sets, 5 repetitions. Then when you go to week 2, you'll start back on day 1 all over again, and you'll go to week 2, and you'll do 135 for 5 sets, 5 repetitions. We only added 5 pounds, right? 2.5 pound plates on each side. Day 2, which could be a Tuesday, right? You go to week 2, you're going to bench press 115 pounds. Day 3, 160 pounds. Day 4, 75 pounds. And then on week 3, you're going to start back to day 1 where it says W3, and you're going to go ahead and repeat the pattern. And you're going to repeat the pattern all the way to week 4 and week 5. Now, when you get to week 5, you may not finish your lifts because this is a lot of volume, and that's perfectly okay. So let's say on week 5, on the back squat, you only get to the 3rd round and you do 150 pounds, but you only do 3 reps on round 3. That's cool. Put the bar back, you're done for the day, okay? Same thing with any of these lifts. If you don't finish it, that's perfectly fine. Just get to how far that you can go and put the bar back, and you're done for the day. And then when it gets to week 6, you will test your 1 rep max in all of these lifts, and you should be able to increase your strength a lot. Whatever your new 1 rep max is, you're going to take that, you're going to multiply it by 0.7, and you're going to start 5 times 5 all over again with 70% and add 5 pounds every week. Now, if you just do 5 times 5 alone, you will look thin, you will put on some muscle, some athletic muscle, and you will get stronger. You really don't need to do very much because these compound movements work your entire body. If you want to speed up that process, or you want to do this in conjunction with more stuff in order to lose weight faster, to feel more athletic, and to be stronger, and to look the way that you want to look, then I have a structured program that I can do for you that will help you out. So Christmas is coming a little early. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up for you. And all you have to do is write it down, screenshot this if you want. Go to the gym, follow this program. This will absolutely help you. So this is an actual client that I had, that I set him up with 5 times 5 in conjunction with being more athletic, increasing strength, and losing weight. Now this particular client, he liked to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he didn't want to get too bulky and big because that would limit his range of motion and his flexibility and his mobility when he's doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So he just wanted to get stronger, but he also wanted to do some movements that was going to help him be better in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So his 1 rep maxes are as follows. The squat was 255 pounds, the bench was 205 pounds, the deadlift was 225 pounds, and the seated shoulder press was 155 pounds. So for day 1, for 5 times 5, you see where it has the back squat 5 times 5, and it's got W1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Week 1 for him would be 185 pounds. Then once he was done doing his 5 sets, 5 repetitions with 185 and not changing the weight, just sticking with 185 all the way through, then he would do 3 rounds. So on the last video, we were doing 3 sets. 3 sets means you only concentrate on that movement and you don't move on to the next exercise until you finish your 3 sets of that one particular exercise. When I say 3 rounds, this is more of a circuit style of training, and this is the big difference between trying to gain mass and trying to gain athletic lean muscle. So he would do 3 rounds. He would do 10 repetitions on the machine hack squats, because there was a machine hack squat machine in the gym that he was using. Then when he was done with those 10 reps, he would immediately move to the machine hamstring curl machine, and he would do 10 repetitions. Then he would go to the barbell that he had just done back squats with, and he would do standing calf raises with the barbell on his back. Once he was done, that was 1 round. Then he would start over at the machine hack squats for round 2, and he would do that same thing over again, and then he would repeat it for a 3rd time and do it for round 3. This is called circuit style training, and this is more to build the athletic lean muscle, but it also will help you increase your strength in your 5x5. So these go very well in conjunction with 5x5 and to hit that specific goal. Day 2, week 1, he would do the bench press 5x5, and he would do it with 155 pounds for week 1, 5 sets, 5 repetitions. Once he was done, he'd move on to the B side, which would be 3 rounds, again, circuit style training, of 10 dumbbell incline bench, 10 cable pec flies, and 10 dumbbell pullovers. Once he was done with all 3 rounds, moving through them, then he would go to section C, triceps. Now here, where you see 3 times 10, that actually means sets, okay? That means you don't move on circuit style training anymore. This means he's gonna do 3 sets of 10 machine rope tricep pull downs. So he would do 10, rest, 10, rest, 10, rest. Then he'd move on to the 3 times 10 ball tricep push-ups. So day 3 was more of a active recovery, which would involve some cardiovascular movements, such as bike erg, ski erg, the rowing machine, or the assault bike, or light jogging, as long as he did 30 to 60 minutes of light cardio. And then the rest would be focusing more on his core, where we would hit his abs and his obliques. So I had him doing 3 sets times 5 repetitions of toes to bar. Once he was done with that, so 15 reps total, then he would do 3 sets times 10 reps of ab mat sit-ups. And then he would do 3 sets times 50 feet walk of a single arm farmer's carry, which could be a dumbbell, a kettlebell, anything that's heavy. And he would carry it with one arm there, and then he would turn around and walk back with the other arm to target his obliques and to statically hold. Day 4, he would do deadlifts, and he would do it for 5x5. Week 1, 165 pounds for 5 sets, 5 repetitions. Then he would do, again, 3 rounds of circuit training of 10 machine back pull downs, 10 machine back rows, and 10 cable back flies. Once he was done with the circuit training, then he would isolate his biceps by doing 3 sets of 10, again, not circuit training, not rounds, 3 sets of machine rope bicep curls. Once he was done with all 30 reps, then he would go on to a 3 times 10 seconds supinated pull-up hold. Now, the reason why I was having him do the supinated pull-up hold was for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's a great exercise to build your upper back, and you need upper back when you are lifting heavy weights. The second reason I prescribed this to him was because when we were testing his 1 rep max for bench press, I noticed he was really wobbly. He couldn't quite get the bar stabilized and was kind of all over the place when he was beginning to press it. So in order to build his stabilizers, we got to build the antagonistic muscles in his back. And holding a pull-up at the top of the movement, supinated for 10 seconds, and then slowly lowering yourself down is a great exercise to do to work those stabilizers. And I will tell you this, when we went back to bench pressing to test on week 6, he did not suffer that problem. And he lifted, I think, 30 pounds PR. And that was because his back was stable and was able to use that to help him lift in the bench press specifically. Day 5, he did the seated shoulder press. And for week 1, he did 115 pounds for 5 sets, 5 repetitions. Then he did 3 rounds of band side delt raises, 10 rotator cuff rotations, and 10 face pulls. And then days 6 and 7, I told him he could either rest and recover and get ready for next week, his choice, or he could do some light cardio, which could be swimming. It could be every minute on the minute of some light cardio movements like jump roping and biking, whatever he wanted to do. I think on those days he chose to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right? So that was his choice. Now, once he was done with week 1, Then we'd scroll all the way back up, and then we would start with day 1 and go to week 2, right? So for 190 pounds, he'd do 5 sets, 5 repetitions. We only added 5 pounds. And then he would continue to do every single exercise the exact same. Then by the time he got to week 5, he wasn't able to finish all of his repetitions, which is perfectly fine. He put the barbell back and did his accessories. And then when he tested week 6, he got massive PRs. And the best part was he was looking more defined. He was looking leaner. He looked like he packed on some athletic muscle, and he lost some weight. Really can't go wrong with that. I hope that everybody learned something new today, and you can take what you want from my free strength program. You can either follow it to the T and get your results, or you can take what you like and you could try to apply it to your own program. Thank you, and have a great evening.